Welcome back to Citroen South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and today you guys join me inside this very beautiful Citroen C5 Aircross, finished in this lovely beautiful color. But before we speak about the Citroen Aircross and every single thing about those cars, where can you find those cars? Obviously you guys know what I'm going to tell you. Go out, check out Change Cars, link down in the description box below. Type in Change Cars and you'll see the vehicle out on their site and buy the cars there. If you're looking for insurance as well, you can click the discovery insurance right there on the website. So check it out. If you want to see my video on their site, check it out there. There's blogs, there's every other thing on that website. The website has everything you need to know. So back to those vehicles. Let's speak about those cars. The Citroen C5 Aircross. How is this car? Honestly, it's a miss but a hit. So I'm gonna speak about the look of the car, the drive, and then things I don't like and things I like about the car, then recommendation. So the look of the car looks beautiful. Looking at it from the outside, it looks very beautiful. I like the look of the car, more especially in front. Those new updated LED lights just look the business. I really like the look of the car. The back is okay, I'm not mad at it. This is not as beautiful as the front, because the front is so beautiful, the back needs to catch up to looking as good as the front. So the car itself is good, it looks beautiful, looks very spacious. And speaking of being very spacious, where I'm sitting, the seats are so comfortable, it looks beautiful, the interior quality is okay. I'm not mad at it. There's a lot of space where I'm sitting, but then it becomes a question: is there the exact amount of space at the back? Is the car as spacious as it looks? Unfortunately not. When it comes to practicality, the rear seats are not as comfortable as one would think because of how big the car looks. So that's something I don't like about the car. I will speak more about that later. When it comes to the drive of the car and what the car is powered by, the car is powered by a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbopetrol engine producing 121 kilowatts and 240 newton meters of torque. So that with those vehicles is not the best choice. It is underpowered. The car is not as frugal as I'd want it to be. It doesn't get to speed as quick as I'd want to be. It doesn't pull off. It doesn't make overtaking as easy as one would expect it to be. So now I'm feeling all of this when I'm alone. So I tend to wonder, if I had a passenger and three people sitting at the back and the boot fully loaded on a long trip, how would the car perform? So there's things like that does concern me about this car. And another thing that concerns me is the gearbox. It's a 6-speed automatic gearbox. The gearbox on its own, like the automatic, is okay. The problem comes, it's a 6-speed, so fuel consumption on this vehicle won't be as expected. It won't be the best thing because it's a 6-speed. So fuel consumption, I've been seeing around 8-9, and then sometimes I think I saw a 10, but you'll be seeing around 8-9. Honestly, be seeing around 8-9, and it's not as fuel efficient as it wanted to be. So my problem with this vehicle is that what I would have loved, right? So Stellantis group, right? Citroen is under the Stellantis group, so all the vehicles that are under Stellantis group, they do tend to share certain bits and things about. That's why this car would look very similar to a Peugeot and stuff like that. I personally, if possible, what I could have done to make sure that I enjoy this car, love this car, I would have taken the engine that's in the Zafira and that 8-speed gearbox that's found in the Opels and all of that, and put it in here. How, I don't know, but I would have done that, because I'm pretty sure if this vehicle was a turbo diesel, the car would have been so perfect. With that 8-speed gearbox that is very known in the Stellantis group, would have been amazing. I know this car would have literally made me want it more, So another thing, the price of the vehicle. So starting price of the vehicle, looking at 633,000 rand for the entry level. So there's two models. There's the Feel and the Shine. The Shine is the entry level. The Feel is the entry level. Then the Shine, the one I'm in, is the top of the range. And for this one, you're looking at 683,000 rand. And looking at its competitors, that is a lot of money. I'm telling you now, off the bat, I personally wouldn't spend that amount of money on this vehicle. Looking at what I can get for that amount of money. So before I'll speak about that in my recommendation and all of that. So now let me speak about 3 things I like, 3 things I don't like about this vehicle. And you know how we do this. I will start at the bad. One, it has to be the engine and the gearbox for me. That's one thing I don't like about this vehicle, the engine and the gearbox. The second thing I don't like about this vehicle, the rear seats. It doesn't look as spacious as you'd think it is, And the third thing I don't like is, you guys can see it right now, this should be black. There is no need for this to be the color it is right now. It should be black. This gets dirty very quickly, and black makes the car look more premium. And this being the triple range, I would have expected this to be black. And now 3 things I like about the car. One, it has to be the look of the vehicle. Off the bat, it has to be the look of the vehicle. The car looks very good. That's the first thing I like about the car. The second thing I like about the car is that how smooth it is when driving. As much as I said the gearbox and the engine is not my pick, but when driving like this, the vehicle feels very good. It handles rolling perfection so well. It soaks up bumps so good. And the third thing I like about this car is the interior. It feels good to be here. There's no gear levers, all that. There's a very futuristic feel. You get a pardon not intended. If you got it, you got it. So it feels very good. You have a nice, beautiful infotainment system, nice feeling steering wheel, pedal shifters, and a full digital instrument cluster, and the seats as well. That's the third thing I like about this car. It feels so good to be in here. And I'm gonna tell you those three important questions. Do I like the car? Would I buy the car? And would I recommend the car? Then we close it off. 1, do I like the car? Yes, but no. 2, would I buy the car? No, I wouldn't buy the car. And 3, would I recommend the car? I would recommend it, but it wouldn't be at the top of my recommendation list. This is a vehicle that if you want to stand out and you really are a fan of the Citroen brand as a whole, then I would tell you to buy the vehicle. So now where I speak about for 680,000 Rand, that is a lot of money. There are better vehicles in this in this range for that price that you can get, namely the Kia Sportage, the Nissan Qashqai, and the Haval H6 HEV, right? So all those cars I mentioned are better in almost every aspect than this vehicle. So my personal preference, I would go to those vehicles first before buying this one. And also, since fuel is a big issue in the country we live in, a lot of people are moving on to more fuel efficient cars, hybrid vehicles. Hence Havala launching a lot more hybrid vehicles, and the H6 wins that on its own because it's literally around the same price as this vehicle, and I personally would opt for that. But taking out the whole hybrid concept out of things, in terms of the Haval H6 hybrid, you can opt for the normal H6 and it will still be a better car than this. But looking at the Sportage, for example, the Sportage drives much better than this. It's more powerful, it feels much better, pulling off and overtaking is much easier in that vehicle. And spacious wise, it feels much spacious, it feels much better. And looks are subjective, and it's cheaper than this vehicle. The one that I had on test, the EX, is cheaper than this vehicle. Obviously, when you go up the range, it's more expensive. And then the Nissan Qashqai is around the same price as this vehicle, and that feels much better than this. It is much powerful than this. So those cars actually up against some strict competition. The problem is the pricing, not the car per se. If this vehicle was 100,000 Rand cheaper, then it would be a bargaining option. You know, people would be like, okay, but those cars are 100,000 cheaper than those vehicles. Why should I go for those vehicles? Rather, let me go for this one. You know, they'll be settling or enjoying this vehicle. But now when you price it so closely compared with its competition, you are not necessarily shooting yourself in the foot, but then you are really narrowing down the options of people choosing your vehicle over the competition. So it's things like that make me not recommend this vehicle at the top of my list. It'll be around the fourth vehicle on my recommendation list. But I've told you everything you need to know about the Citroen C5 Aircross. I hope you guys found the video informative. Tell me what you think about the car. Tell me if you share the same sentiments as me or you think otherwise. If you think otherwise, feel free, comment down below. Let's engage and then we'll see from there. But from Citroen South Africa, I'm Nicky Nash, and I hope you guys like the content. And yeah, I'm signing out.